She was sort of lamenting, the sun's over there, the YouTube experience a little. It's getting kind of samey and tired. She blamed conflict, sort of. I mean, that's sort of the implication. And that we're not doing the conflict thing the right way. You know, like maybe there is a right way. I don't know. And that's sort of the question, you know, it's a strategy game. I mean, we're all invested in a philosophy, either as kind of a team or as individuals, and we're in this contest to somehow make that meme move through the human community. At least that's what some of us are trying to do. Some of us are just entertainers and just, you know, masturbating emotionally, playing little drama psych games with people, and you know, they do get attention, unfortunately, and people remain communicative with them, you know, for no good reason, but anyway, yeah, so that there's so much noise and crap that might be part of the misbehavior, is that you know, you gotta fight through so much of that to be able to have this idealistically well-disciplined argument. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep the sun from being obnoxious. Stop it! No, really, I appreciate it, actually. Man, I'm doing a lot of distracting things in my videos lately. I gotta stop doing that. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, obviously I make two kinds of videos. I mean, I make, you know, kind of boring, tedious, you know, explanations of my thought process in some sort of, you know, drony manner. And then you make the, come on, you fight for your beliefs. I'll show you where you're full of crap, and you show me how you're not full of crap. And, you know, so I have gone, I have done it both ways, and neither one works. You know, I mean, works is a tricky word. I mean, obviously we've all connected to people and impacted people. We've educated, it's probably even the wrong word, people have been informed by the provocations we have thrown out there, and you know, have been inspired or enlightened's the wrong word, have been provoked to gain an understanding, either through these videos being a catalyst to informing themselves, or because the videos are themselves informing. But anyway, and then there's also been the fact that we've connected to people of common experience and understanding, and that's also important. Hey, this shiny surface on the camera, I can actually see myself, which, you know, it makes my mirror redundant. But anyway, another side track. I'm vulnerable to that lately. Yeah, so, I mean, but this is the game. I mean, you know, what other game is there to play? There's no other game in town to do this philosophy thing. I mean, I wish philosophy was a better word, apparently. I mean, my whole life I had a certain reverence for the word philosophy. It sort of just meant you do this disciplined, it's almost like, it was almost comparable to mathematics. The only downside was that it was tedious and boring, you know, and hard. Because you had to get knowledge of all this stuff to be able to think about it correctly and accurately and form arguments and all that kind of crap. So, but apparently, the scientists and the philosophers have camped themselves, and so it fucks everything up a little. This philosophy just is taking science to its logical conclusions. I mean, I just can't find any distinction myself. But anyway, that's a side issue, I think. Whoa, I almost fell in the water. That's not good. A little wobbly. Yeah. Now where's the fucker sun? Oh. Okay, the video will have to be behind me now. This will be a little trickier. Staying in the camera. At a profile-y. I will do this maybe. Yeah, this is awkward to hold. I can't touch the damn buttons in the back. This stupid touch-sensitive crap. It's like everybody's an old lady. They can't actually press a button in anymore. No, you have to just mouse your finger over it or something. Anyway, another sidetrack. Sorry about the noise, but can't do much about that. I did put a band-aid on the microphone because I don't know why they don't just put a fucking piece of foam in front of the microphones and increase the gain. I mean, I suppose it's because everybody's videoing sporting events or some other kind of crap and they want to pick up sounds 400 yards away. But it is annoying with some of these, you know, this is a high-priced camera, well, you know, well over $100, and you know, I haven't paid 10, but well, 8. But anyway, yeah, I just, you know, it shouldn't fucking, you know, create all those effects to sound. But anyway, arms are tired. See, it's holding it. I can't. Well, I'll learn. I can't see myself. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter, Gary. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's directly. I have to do this way. Oh, touch button. Ooh. Probably zoomed. Okay, it's okay. Yeah, I'm rambling. Wow, that was a real ramble. Way off the subject. So anyway, yeah, so how to do the YouTube thing better. And, you know, you just got to keep working at that. I wish I had more time, you know, I wish the whole world would just stop for a year and give me a year or two to catch up. I sort of felt like that my whole life. You know, I've been a few weeks behind, and I just keep losing. It's like the national debt. I just keep incurring days behind as I go through my life. So by the time I'm dead, I'm going to be like, you know, 5 years behind. So I won't know I'm dead for 5 years, but that's good. Or maybe not. Well, whatever. That's another subject. Yeah, so anyway, alright, so you can take the recent discussions. Pretty good about this enlightenment stuff. Some good videos produced out of this. But none of it's very coherent. I mean, they're not coherent in terms of the videos aren't very connected to each other. The subject matters, it gets way off field. The focus. And I think you have to try to focus on the conflict. I think the only point in having the discussion is to emphasize and deal with the conflict that exists in the opinions. And to run from that conflict, or to try to whitewash it, you know, with a bunch of patronizing, well, I believe in a material universe and evolution, but, you know, and the whole thing goes down the toilet. Because people are agreeing to disagree about things that are fundamental to the part they're not going to agree on. I mean, you can't, you know, you can't agree there's no God and then agree that atheism is stupid. I mean, these are contrary. They're conversation exploders. I mean, somebody was brought up Einstein and whatever Borg, or whatever his name was, and the fact that they couldn't really have a civil debate, you know, I guess later especially, and they couldn't really converse on the subject. But I mean, I think that happens. I mean, you do have to deal with these premise issues, and if you're fighting through two different premises, then everything the other person starts saying is all Hansel and Gretel crap. I mean, I go insane, figuratively, listening to some people's videos. Just because, yeah, there's so much crap built on this false premise, and if you don't deal with the false premise, there's no point. It's like listening to some kind of, you know, let's just say that fairy tales sometimes come true, or fables are sometimes accurate, or I don't know, something else. And so then you just listen to a bunch of Hansel and Gretel stories. I mean, who the fuck wants to do that? And who certainly wants to waste time arguing the details of their three little pig yarn and pointing out how, well, pigs really don't have fingers and they can't hold hammers and, you know, they can't do this and they can't do that, when the real argument should be about the fact that, no, there are no fucking three little pigs. We don't need to deconstruct the crappy bullshit. We can go right to the fundamental premise, which is you can just make up the truth. You know, that a fairy tale is somehow connected to reality. And that's probably where the argument should have been. Well, where it should be. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I ain't saying it can't be done better. I ain't saying YouTube's going anyplace good. Because obviously the dominant players on the YouTube channel aren't going any, I mean, that direction is nothing. I mean, it's a TV channel I wouldn't pay money for. You know, the top 20 YouTubers, you know, if that was a cable offering, I wouldn't buy it. So yeah, we got to do something to get more into these conversations, force more, try to make them more valuable to a broader audience. And unfortunately, the audience is so diverse. I mean, you know, half my subscribers love the conflict videos, and then half of them absolutely hate them. And so it's like, oh, what, I got to choose a half? I'm not interested in doing that. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter really, just because I'm just going to be who I am. And, you know, I don't worry too much about anyone else's opinion but my own. I mean, I'll certainly hear other people's opinion, ask myself what I think. But yeah, the bottom line is, I'm going to dictate. You know, I'm going to trust my judgment over anybody else's. And yeah, I've certainly, I hate to say made mistakes, because, you know, how do you calculate this stuff? How do you know until the fat lady sings, so to speak? You know, whether it was a smart strategic move. I mean, it's like chess, you know, you make a move, your third or fourth move can decide the match. And so you could look really bad later, but it comes back to that really good move for, you know, in the beginning, that looks stupid. Well, you know what I mean. I mean, you just can't judge these books by the immediate cover, or I just don't know if there's any rational way to say this is how to do it. I mean, if Martin Luther King arrived today, you know, would he be effective? I tend to argue he might not be, because people they demand more. You know, you can't just make speeches. You got to get into the fight. So, I don't know. Anyway, enough of a video. Yeah, this is just really tedious. Must come up with a plan. Maybe I can hold the camera here. Yeah, that might be better. Okay, it's good to resolve those things after the video. I have a little stick I have to poke the damn thing so the video doesn't get erased from this bootleg camera. Alright, anyway, I think we've accomplished a satisfactory video. It's kind of pretty, I guess, for heading towards the winter day. Dog likes to bark and such. Anyway.